Welcome to the Traditional Way podcast. I'm your host, Brett Shumway. This podcast is brought to you by the Martial Arts Center Network, where you can find all things martial arts related on our social media pages and the main app. Available on Apple and Google stores, where you can catch up on all the open circuit sport karate news with Inside Scoop, catch a movie review with fists, kicks, and flicks, or find out what's happening in the jiu-jitsu and MMA worlds on the Winner's Circle. Plus now, exclusive content that is only available on the app. On this episode, we are going to sit down with Emmersyn Cottingham to discuss her WKF experiences and her performance at Fujairah. But before we get to that, I want to take time to acknowledge the retirement of a great WKF athlete. Abdallah Abdelaziz has decided to call it quits on competition. Let's take a look at his career. Abdallah Abdelaziz was born in Egypt on March 26, 1999. He started his WKF journey in the 2025 at the Youth World Championships, where he would bring home a bronze medal in the junior age category. He would have a bit of a lull as a youth, as we would not see him back in action until the following World Championships in 2017, now in the U21 age category. Although he would not medal at that event, this would be the start of his adult career. It was at this time that we started seeing Abdallah on the Premier League at a consistent basis. It didn't start out easy for him, and he would not see a podium in the Premier League for 2 years. However, it was during this time that he secured his first African Continental title in 2018. He would return to the World Championships in 2019 and take home a bronze in the U21 age category. He would also have a couple of years where he had some up and down competition results. However, 2020 was the beginning of what would be his great run of dominance in the minus 75 kilogram division. He started that year with his second African title and a bronze in the Premier League out of the 2 events that he attended. In 2021, he would medal at every event he entered, including a silver at the World Championships. Then he started his legendary run. Starting in 2022, he went on to win 14 golds in 18 events, including 4 African titles, 3 Premier League Grand Winner statuses, and 2 World Championships. He ended his career winning his last 4 events and has a win-loss record of 148 wins to 31 losses over 46 events, putting his win rate at 82.68% for his career. Although he has stepped away from competing, he has taken a position with the Mexican national team as one of their coaches. If he can bring a portion of what they have produced in Egypt over the past couple of years to Mexico, we will see some great talent coming out of there in the future. One thing is for sure, there will be a huge spot to fill in that minus 75 kilogram Kumite division now that the king has abdicated the throne. And we welcome on to the show Emmersyn Cottingham. Welcome to the Traditional Way. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm great. So
Good.
let's start by telling everybody about who you are, where you're from, how long you've been competing.
So I'm Emmersyn, as he just said. I'm from North Carolina. Not many people from here, actually, so it's pretty cool to be from here. And then I started karate whenever I was 5 years old, and then started competing about just a year later when I was 6.
Okay, and what style and do you do?
I started with Shiteru, the base, and then I progressed into more Goju-ryu and Rei-ryu, so now I do all 3 styles.
Okay, and you are on a team. What team are you on? Who are your coaches?
I am with Kata Mastery, and then my main coach is Mason Stowell, and then I also train with Jarrett Liker.
Okay, and so now you've done a lot of circuits, but primarily now you are concentrating on the WKF. I think is fair to say. So,
Yes.
with your experiences on the WKF, tell me first of all, I know you love it, but is there any dislikes that you have with the WKF? Things that you think could be better, or go into that a little bit in detail about how you like the WKF as a whole.
Overall, very, very good. Very good circuit, very well rounded. The people, super nice, super respectful and everything. I wouldn't say I have any dislikes. I mean, the only like thing, maybe like sometimes the staging room is too small or the warm up room is too small. Everyone's crammed in, especially with those 96 to 128 people. But sometimes, I mean, you can't change the venue, so you just have to adapt from it. But overall, it's incredible.
Right, and compared to open circuit tournaments, I mean, if the complaint is that you have a warm up area that's too small, it's
Hmm.
it's really nice to have a warm up area because we don't get that most of the time at non-traditional events.
Oh
So,
no, for sure. Yeah.
um, so within the WKF overall, I mean, you've had some success. I'm tracking 4 medals. Do you have more than 4 medals? You have 4, right?
I have 5.
5. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
missing one. So I have as a cadet, you took a bronze in kata at, Mexico, correct? At the youth league in Mexico
Yeah.
as a cadet,
Yes.
and you also did that as a junior,
Yes.
and you have Fujara, which we'll get to in a little bit, and then you have the gold from Junior Pan Ams in the team kata.
Yes. And
Which
then I was also the year before Team Kata as well, silver medal in Pan
Okay.
Am's. Yes.
See, all right. So I know, and those are hard to find because they're not really tracked like the other wins
Right.
are. So,
Yes. Yes.
so you have five. And matter of fact, that's one performance that I watched probably 4 or 5 times was your gold medal performance at Pan Am's because it was such a close match, right?
Oh, definitely.
I
Yes.
went I
Very
went
close.
back and forth a couple of times on like at first because explain to the judge, like, how is it 50-50 based on, like, the bunkai versus the performance of the kata? Or is it overall? I mean, how is it scoring broke down?
I think sometimes it definitely is like a preference type. But I think if your kata is even, then obviously it goes to bunkai. But I think whatever bunkai is more exciting and is more like technical, like due to the kata move by move, what we're doing, I think is gonna take it over the like flips and everything.
Right, and that's kinda what I saw in that performance because I think your team the kata performance in the sync was hands down the winner. Like,
Right.
when I rewatched it, they had one girl in the back that was just a hair off on, like, 2 full sequences. So, it was something
Right.
that I was like, "Hi, how" when I first watched it, I was like, "How is this so close?" But then watching the bunkai, I would say that their bunkai was a little more dynamic.
I
Um,
agree.
they just had they had a more variety of takedowns and stuff
Right.
than your
Right.
guys's did.
Yes.
So, that's like I've watched it because when you see something, you're like, "Oh, they won," and then you're like, "Wait a minute, did I miss something? Like, what did I see? Like, where am I?" I'm not doubting the win as just it's something that you wanna look at to be like, "What am I actually watching here?" And that's kinda what I came down to is that your guys' kata was just way more in sync and on point than theirs were.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I think their bunkai brought it up a little closer, so I was kinda just really just kind of interested on your take on that as well because like I said, I've watched it 5 or 6 times. It's there's a few matches that I get that see, and when you see a win or a loss. I mean, another example is when Ryuji beat Ariel in Dublin 2 years ago by
Oh
like
goodness.
by point one.
Yes.
I watched that like 20 times to see like
Yeah.
what are
Yep.
they seeing? What's different? I missed something. I don't know. So, but thank you for breaking that down. 'Cause that's something that I really wanted to pick your brain on since you
For
lived it.
sure.
I just got to watch it, right? Um,
Right. Yes.
so another topic that comes up, and honestly, I would love to stop talking about it, but everyone wants to talk about the new kata rules. If you follow anybody on Instagram, it's all that they're making
Yep.
comments about. Everyone wants to talk about the
Yes.
new rules. So, you have now done 2 events with the new rules, correct?
Correct. Yes.
What are your takes on the new rules? Have you made any adjustments? Do you like, dislike? What are your take on the new rules?
Overall, I mean, for me, I think let's say like okay, the breathing rule, for example. That one I really like. I really love and I adapted to it. But for like the other one, let's say like the back foot finishing, like the stomping, that
Mhm,
one was harder because in the Ryu style originally, it's you back foot finish.
mhm.
So it definitely was harder and maybe not I don't like it, but I adapted from it and overall now, I mean it's helped my performances, I think personally. So I mean, it was hard at first, but just you just have to like get used to it at some point.
Right, and I don't see, like, watching your performances, I didn't see any gi slaps that you had to take out.
Right.
And I have seen some stuff that honestly, I I was absolutely amazed at some of the gi slapping that I never noticed before until they
Yeah,
demonstrated it with and without. And I'm like, how slick are these guys slapping their gis that you
exactly.
don't
Yeah.
even see it? Like that's something that I was like, okay, I can get with that rule. A lot of things has been talked about the facial expressions and I think you probably fall in this category as well.
those of us who grew up competing on the open circuit where performance is
Oh, no.
everything,
Yes.
it
Yes.
that's so hard for I think a lot of people to change, and some stuff just comes naturally. I mean,
Right.
I think I mean, you know, Ariel is the most smiling guy in the world until he does kata and he has that scowl, and
Yes.
that scowl
Yeah.
is there all the time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think it's faked. I think that's just his focus. So
Right.
stuff like that, I think could be interpreted differently. But
I agree.
um, all in all, though, I do like some, and then for me, I'm a Shotokan stylist where we have built-in foot stomps in
No, yeah.
a lot of our
Yeah.
stuff. But then I see that Shotokan, since the new rules, Shotokan's kind of doing better all of a sudden than they have in the past. So that's something that
Right.
like I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, will they be? It doesn't seem like Shotokan guys are getting hit for it. So I think they've adjusted. And again, like I said, we're 3 events into the year, four
Mhm.
with the Premier League coming up next.
Right.
I I don't think we'll really understand where we're at in these rules for another half a year. But that's just my
Yeah.
take,
I agree.
and I'm sure I'm gonna talk about it again because it's gonna keep coming up.
Yep. Yep, you pretty much have to.
So, speaking of that, you just got done competing in Fujairah, the event that I just covered last episode, and you took a bronze medal in kata. So I
Yes.
wanna break down that whole event for you. So, first thing is first, I was looking through the brackets. Is there anybody did you compete against anybody who you had competed against before? Or is this a first time competing against most of these ladies?
Um, the only person in my whole pool bracket, that I've competed against before is Ninon, and I competed against her in Mexico,
Mm,
when I was a cadet.
okay.
So but the other ones I have
And sh
never
and
competed
she's from
against.
France, right? That's the
Yep.
okay, yep,
Yeah.
I'm following.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
was that when you looked through that elimination pool, were there any girls that you were like, "Okay, this may be a problem?"
Yeah, so actually the pool finals, which was my quarterfinals,
Mhm.
Sophia from Slovakia. It's actually one of my pretty good friends as well. So I was like, okay, this one's gonna be tough. So that one for sure.
Alright, so well, let's go ahead and break down that elimination round. So, first round up, now here's something that you know that I don't know because for some reason they didn't list the katas that you performed in each round. So I'm gonna need to get that
Yeah.
information from you. So
Okay.
let's start
Yeah.
off round one. You face off versus Poland.
Yes. Yes.
What kata
I
did you?
Yeah. I did Ohan against that one. That's usually
Okay,
like my opening round typically. So I did Ohan.
okay, and
Yes.
your opponent. You said I was unsure who she was. Shidoru or Shotokan stylist.
She was Shotokan.
Okay, and you won
Yep.
that round 4-1.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Then you moved on against Iran in round 2, who I would if she's not Shotokan, I'll be shocked. There was another Shotokan stylist?
No, actually, she was not.
Really?
Yeah, no. I was just as surprised.
Like, yeah, 'cause so there's certain countries, right? So if I see Egypt, Iran,
Mhm.
I'm Turkey, and I know there are Shidoru stylists from those countries, but they're
Yeah.
pretty much really heavy Shotokan. So that
No,
does
yes,
shock me.
definitely. I was surprised as well.
All right. So, and you ran what kata did you run in round 2?
I did Anandai.
Anandai. Okay, and you won
Yes.
that round 4-1 as well.
Yes.
So, stepping in round 3, you were up against Egypt,
Yep.
and you ran
I did Ohandai in the 3rd round.
Ohandai in the 3rd round. Now, this is where things started to get a little tougher because you won this one 3-2.
Yes, yes, and surprisingly, she was not Shotokan.
Not
She was
Shotokan.
doing, yeah, she did a
See, you're just
Shito
making me.
kata.
You're just throwing up all my stereotypes about these countries and what
I
katas
know,
they
yeah.
do.
Yes.
So, all right, you already mentioned this round 4, the quarterfinals. Now it's still round 4 of the bracket, but you guys are down
Mhm.
to the final 8 matches in the quarterfinals,
Right.
and
Yep.
you face off against Slovakia,
Yes, and I did Super MP.
Super Impe, okay?
Yes.
And what kata did she run?
She did Chatanyara Kushanku.
Okay.
Yep.
And you won that one 3-2.
Yes.
And then you move on, semifinal rounds. Now
Yep.
things get a little tougher because you're up
Yes.
against
Very.
Tamara Lerner, who at one time, I know she's been in the top 3 or 4 for a while. I
Oh
think
yes. Yeah.
I think she was a top cadet when she moved up into the juniors. I
Mhm.
don't know if she's held the number 1 ranking in the junior position or in the junior age
Mhm.
category, but I know as a cadet she definitely has.
Right.
So I know you did Paparin, right? No,
Yes.
you did
Popperin.
Paparin.
Yep.
Yes. And the outcome of this, unfortunately, was a loss.
Yes, it was.
You lost. And do you know what kind did Tamara run?
She did Chibana no Kushanku.
Chibana. Okay.
Yep.
So you made it to the final four. You lost. But good thing about making it all the way to the final four is you don't have to do any repercharge. You're already in the bronze medal match.
Yes. Yep.
So you step in the bronze medal match against Germany, and you ran. I think I know this. You ran Ohan Dai, correct?
Yes, I repeated that one.
Right, because that was your sixth kata, right?
Sixth. Yep. Yeah.
Yep. And the rules are for anyone who watching the show doesn't know the rules. After 5, you can repeat.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep. Yep. And if like you make, let's say, semifinals, you've only
hmm
ran 4 katas and you do, let's say, pop run, and then you go into the medal match, you can repeat the same kata.
Okay, so for the medal
Yeah.
rounds, you can repeat regardless of where you're at
Yes.
in the order.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And bronze medal match happens, and you squeak this one out 3 judges to 2. I did watch that
Yes.
one. I can't remember what did she ran Super Empe or no? What cut
Pop
did she
run.
run?
Pop run.
Paparin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's taken around. Hey, listen, I've gotten over my dislike of Paparin. I really have. There was a
I think
while
we've all had that.
where that kata was everywhere, and I was just
Oh
like,
my gosh.
oh
Yeah.
man.
So many people do it.
So bronze medal at Fujara, and so this this third place bumps you up into the 19th ranking overall.
Right. I
Now,
believe now I am 15th.
did rankings change in the past 2 days? 15th?
I last time I looked, I mean I could be wrong, but I
Okay.
looked I think on Sunday.
Okay. Either
So
way, 15th or 19th, I was looking at the points. You're within striking distance of the top 10. So
yes, yeah.
you're currently when I looked at them last, you were 340 points out of the top 10, which
Okay.
is
Okay.
for most events, that's a bronze medal. Another bronze, another podium puts you in that top 10. What is your next event that you're going to?
International, which doesn't really count for junior, but it'll be the
hmm
Series A in Spain. But that's obviously not towards junior points. But
Right.
for junior, youth league will be the Philippines youth league.
Okay. And that event is in I looked at it. Is that in Manila or is that in somewhere else in
Yes,
Philippines?
Manila.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I just broke some news to you. Did you realize you were that close to the top 10?
I didn't look at it. I realized like what placement, but I didn't look at like the number of the points, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, well, the way that they do it, you have to do a lot of adding because
Yeah,
they
you do.
show you only where you're at behind the
Yep.
person in front of you. So,
Right.
yeah, I was like
Yes.
that's
Yep.
so
I crazy.
yeah. So and you have so again, either way in the top 20 rankings in the world right now in the juniors. I know the last time you and I had talked at one time, and I know that is a goal of yours to be in the top 10.
Yes.
Especially this is your first full year as a junior, correct?
It
Or your
is.
second
It
year?
is.
First full
This
year as
will
a junior.
yeah. I guess you would say that because I did miss like a youth league, so I don't really know how you would say that, but like I'll be 18 in November, so
Okay. And
yeah.
then that will mean no more youth league
No,
after November.
sadly no. Oh my
So,
goodness.
but you are taking advantage of you are doing the Series A's as well this year,
Mhm.
right? So you're taking
I
advantage of
am.
that 16
Correct.
and over kata division. That's
Yep.
smart.
Yep.
One thing that I guess I wasn't tracking, I brought it up last show. U21.
Mhm.
So Youth League has gotten rid of U21. I
Right.
don't know if I'm a fan of that because they're still gonna have continental and world championships for the U21 division.
Mhm.
But
Correct.
it's almost like how do you qualify? You know what I mean? Like, where do you get
Yeah.
those
I
points in, and is it still going to be ranked, even though there's no really circuit for it to gain ranking other than continental championships and world championships? Which I mean,
right.
I understand. Like, hey, listen, I understand that continental and world championships make or break a ranking real
Oh,
quick
for
because they're
sure.
worth so
Yep.
much. I mean,
Real
I
quick.
get that, but there really doesn't seem to be any place for, because I'm assuming in November you will most likely be taking advantage of that U21 division as well.
Mhm. You're
So
right.
it
Right.
just only leaves you with Pan Ams and World Championships, really. I'm
Exactly.
sure the USA and KF has some things for
Mhm.
U21, but it was just something that I started to notice that, like, that was a really big division for a lot of people because you had some guys, especially in fighting, that would like tear it up in the U21 and then go to the Premier League and maybe make the top 8, right? But
Exactly. Yeah.
without that, now they're back into toughing it out in the Series A, which I still think the Series A is probably, I won't say the toughest to win, but it's easily the longest day because there's
Oh, for
128
sure.
in every division. I mean, every division is
Yep.
packed as full as it can get,
Yep.
and it's just a long day.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like maxed out. It's just it's long. It's really long.
And so, but your next one for that is Spain, correct? So
Yep.
when Spain is coming up, when?
It's gonna be at the end of April.
End of April.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else on your horizon? So Spain will be your next WKF event, and you said,
Mhm.
is there any other traditional, like, is there any USA NKF events coming up or anything like that that you'll be doing?
Yes, actually, this weekend I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Colorado for the high caliber in Denver. It's actually one of
Okay.
the qualifiers for nationals, and then I'll also do the USA Open. That's in about a month from now.
Okay, and that one's in Vegas, right? Or no, they moved it.
Texas,
That's in
Texas.
Texas this year.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Yes.
right, in the Dallas Fort Worth area, right? Or
Mhm. Yep. Exactly.
okay, perfect. Yeah, I know that
Yes.
sometimes they go back and forth and where they're going to do either nationals or
Yeah.
or the Open per se.
Right. Right.
Okay. So it
Yes.
looks like you have a very full plate in the WKF in the next 2 months.
Very. Yep.
Is there anything else that you are working on? Like, are you sticking with the six katas that we already have named, or is there anything else that you're working on right now that you might break out later?
I'm still like more Shitoru, like the Chatanyara Chibana, still working those, really critiquing them. Actually, whenever I go to Spain, I'm going to train with Sergio Galan Lopez. He's
Mhm.
very, very good with the Shitoru, so I'm super excited. He'll be able to like help me tweak that and everything to get those back up to the same levels as my other six.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yep.
I think when I first saw you compete, again, this was on the open circuit. When I first saw you compete, I know you were running either I think Chibana, or you were running Chetnar. I think you were running Chibana the first time I saw
Mhm.
you compete on the open
Correct.
circuit. But I know that I see you compete in the WKF and you're going more towards the Rueru forms, which it,
Yes.
like, whatever. Listen, I watch when I watch people compete in this sport. There's you got to find your lane, right? And there's
Mhm.
so many
Definitely.
things that, like there's katas that I feel like I could do so much better,
Mhm.
but I don't compete with them. Like, and I
Oh, exactly.
for
Yeah.
whatever reason, right? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like if I was going to do traditional, I would stick with this lane. But now,
Mhm.
but I do other things, so I stick. You know what I mean? So I understand sometimes you fall, like, there's katas I fall in love with that I still try to compete with that I shouldn't ever try to compete with. Uh, I try to run at least once every 4 months. I try to run Gankaku, and I stumble all over the place every time I try it. But I love that kata so much that like in my head I'm like, this is the time. This is the time I'm gonna
Exactly.
nail it. And
Right. Yep.
I haven't nailed it yet.
You will. You will.
Yeah, so, but I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and talk to us. Like I said, we followed WKF on this show, and you're someone that I have definitely been is on my radar as an American, but you're moving up the rankings in kata, and I hope that you keep doing what you're doing so we can keep following you and we can have more, not just Americans, but more North Americans to talk about in the WKF than we have right now, because I feel like we have a ton of talent. They're just not getting out there and taking control. So
Right.
I
Yes.
want to thank you for coming on and spending time with me. And I hope that you keep doing what you're doing and the best of luck in the future. Thanks,
Yes.
Em.
Thank you so much. This has been incredible. Thank you.
And with that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Traditional Way. Join me on the next episode where I'll bring you the results from the Premier League event in Rome. Till then, continue to support the Martial Arts Internet Network and all of our content. Till next time, guys.